All right, so let's take a few moments to talk about some more advanced blogging concepts. So I already have my blog, my course, Google Course blog, and I want to go into settings again, which is all the way at the bottom. Don't like that it's hidden on my laptop, but that's the way it is. And you can see like I have my title and things like that I can actually edit. Here's that blog address, so anybody that gets to that blog address will be able to see my blog, and I was able to add my authors. But let's talk about comments, okay? And so when you look at these tools, like I can look at the different comments that I might have, and there are no published comments because this is brand new. But what I really want to do is think about my settings, and under settings, what you can see is it says posts and comments. So how many posts do you want shown on a page? You can adjust that so that they could see, all the different posts or all the different days, depending on how many are there. Okay, but let's talk about the comments. We want to know if they're going to be embedded, if it's going to be a full page or a pop-up window. Usually I keep them embedded. And then it's really critical who can comment. So if you say anyone who comes across your blog will be able to post in there. If it has to be a registered user, right? That means that if they even have an open app ID, then they can post there. Typically, I change this to user with Google accounts, because then the Google account will show up if I want somebody like a parent or a teacher or somebody else to be able to see it. And then finally, only members of this blog. So when I do that, only the students who I've already approved and invited in can be members or can comment. And then for comment moderation, you can say always, which means that when it comes to me, or when somebody comments, it'll come to me first before I allow them to comment. With older students, I typically say never, because I feel like I can go back and I can work with them. So that's one way that I work with my blogs. Okay, and I'm going to go back now and just take a look at how do I grade a blog and how do I manage the blog posts. So again, I go under settings, and I'll just look at posts, and there are some other ways that you can get here. And so I can see the names of of the people that post on here, okay? And you can see that they have a whole bunch of different names. And if I go back under a different blog, again, I'll go under posts. And so, again, it gives me a list of their names. It tells me when they posted. And so I have that information as I need it. It also tells me how many comments there are. And we don't do a lot of commenting, what the title was, that type of thing. So I can go in here, and if I think a blog was not appropriate, I can delete it, or I can share it out, or I can edit the blog. So if a student makes a mistake, I can adjust for that. Now for grading, the way I do my grades is that students do it for 10 points. And if they blogged on time by 8 o'clock that night, then they get full credit for it. I usually start out in the first round of blogging with what I call a daily blog. And so if I go to one of mine, my blogs, what you'll see is that in the blog should be a daily set of what did we do. So there are notes in here, list of the work that the students had to do, and so it should represent what happened that day, and some students take pictures. Each student gets assigned a different day. The first time around, they just have to put text in. They're just learning how to blog. The second time around, they must include a picture. Third time around, if I think it's important, I might have them include audio or video. But that's how I get my students to do their work. I finally wanted to mention about blogs is that Blogger is also an app available for iPhones and Android phones. And this will allow you to also take a look and post quickly from a mobile device. So if your students are iOS or you are iOS, you can actually manage your blogs right from your phone.